It is great to be with you guys. Tuesday, January 31st, 2023. Welcome to episode 241 of The Dream Wager. I am your host, The Rock, and I am joined by our NBA guru, my partner in crime, Elvis Acosta. What's up, my man? How you doing?
Great, Dill. Great. Glad to be here on the show on a Tuesday. Lovely Tuesday. Fresh out of work.
Yes,
Saw the
sir.
Nets win big yesterday in Brooklyn against the Lakers. Sad LeBron wasn't able to play. He opt for that, but it's all good.
Nevertheless, though, stars were out. Selena Gomez, Michael B. Jordan, my boy Breece Hall was there.
Yeah, Breece Hall was there.
How was the game? Your Brooklyn Nets won.
Yeah, come on now. Took care of business. Covered at that, something light. And Dill, real quick, just a side note on it. When LeBron came out of the tunnel, probably like a minute or two into the game, bro, the whole arena stood up. Like you felt that like the energy in the room just changed slightly.
I love
when
that.
LeBron walked out the tunnel. I was like, oh shit, let's go, James.
You and me, I don't think we usually don't get starstruck by, I guess, we've seen some famous people in our life, but no one we really like, I get nervous for, We're not nervous people, but I think if LeBron walked in the same room, I think I'd have to stand up.
I would stand up too. I'd be like, oh shit, let's go, James. But to be honest, like I dapped up 50 Cent.
He came to Garfield?
Yeah, you know the story. Come on now.
For the listeners.
Yeah.
They tried to tell you it wasn't 50.
Yeah, so boom, me and my man Keeney, we at 7-Eleven, and I see a double R pull up. And I said I worked in New York, and I know difference between a Phantom and a regular double R. I was like, that's a Phantom.
Yeah.
And it's not just like a painted, it's like it's two-tone. So I was like, bro, that's 50 Cent. My man was like, you crazy. That ain't 50. I said, bro, that's 50 Cent. Nobody else got a Phantom like that or anywhere around here but 50. Guess who walks in?
50 Cent.
50. I said 50.
You can't make this shit up.
I said 50 was good. Yeah, and he a real dude. He dapped me up clean. And I respected he was with, let's say, a man that was he was just with one dude. That's it. And he came in, dapped me up. It was probably like 1:30 in the morning.
What do you think he was doing out so late?
Come on, he's probably going to strip. That's 50. I'm going home. I was just copping. I don't know what I was probably trying to drink. I don't know. But this is a few years back.
You know what they say, nothing good comes around when you're out that late. But man, me and 50 Cent, any athlete, I think, our boy of AKP, he met Chris Canny, an NFL player. And the guy was so cool. He said, "Hey man, you like sports? Come sit down." They were at a golf tournament. He goes, "Come sit down. We'll sit on the couch together, drinking high noons, talking about football for 30 minutes." Like that's all we want,
Down to earth, dude.
So, wow, that was amazing. Glad you had fun at the game. They won. Did you put any money on your Nets?
Yeah, Dill.
Let me hear it.
I took Russell Westbrook more than 19.5 points.
What did he get? 19?
I think 18.
Ooh.
And he had he had 9 in the first quarter. That just tells you. Yeah. He had a terrible second half. Terrible. I witnessed it. It was bad.
What you saw that video after the game? Why he snubbing the people? He just wanted an autograph.
When you play a game like that, I'll be upset too. That's the only excuse I can make for that man. I don't like what he did. Come on, man. These acknowledge the kids.
Yeah.
I understand there are grown men out there, or whatever. I understand, but those are kids. Like they're probably 8, 9.
Yeah, I understand maybe not doing an autograph because you get that a lot, but at least dap them up. Like,
at least acknowledge them.
Yeah.
Like, at least be like, oh yeah, they can at least tell their friends to school tomorrow. Russell Westbrook saw me.
Yeah, that'll make his day.
That'll make his day, bro. And you're not that cool. You know what I'm saying? No, in general, nobody's that cool to just ignore a kid like that.
Yeah. He did make this statement, "I am top 10 of all time in assists." I never would have thought that.
I witnessed it. I saw him join the top 10 list.
So I hear the crowd. I didn't watch the game, but they said it was a good atmosphere in the Barclays.
Way more Lakers fans, and they especially woke up in the third quarter. They woke up in the third quarter. They were all by the Lakers side. Sooner it became like an 8-7 ball game. They all just came. I was like, damn, there's mad Lakers fans in here.
They come and they represent. They're everywhere. Like they're like Cowboy fans. They're everywhere.
Yeah, they're everywhere. Yeah.
But no, glad you had a good time. A lot to get into today. Let's just get right into it. Breaking news within like 30, 40 minutes ago. Sean Payton is the new head coach for the Denver Broncos. The compensation for it, Denver's 2023 first round pick and next year's second round pick for Sean Payton, and the Saints 2024 third round pick. So what a swing by the Broncos, going out, fixing their problem. I don't think you could get much worse than Nathaniel Hackett last year. They go out, they fix their problem with one of the greats, Sean Payton. I love the move for both sides. This has been a guy, it seems like from the jump, they started to target. Yeah, they interviewed other guys like Harbaugh and even D'Amico Ryan, who got a job. But it all came back to Sean Payton at the end of the day. He was wearing an orange tie. I don't know if you caught that this past weekend on TV. That wasn't accidental. He was sending a message. Hey, I want to be in Denver. His contract in Denver is still being finalized. So numbers just yet. There's no numbers yet. So no question. I think the deal gets done. But for me, before I hand it to you, I think this is a good spot for Payton, to have success moving forward. We think they have the quarterback. Hopefully he has a better year. I think they have a running back. They have a legit left tackle. They have weapons on the outside, and they have a top 5 defense. So you could always get your draft capital back that you traded for, in the future. So I think it's a swing. I think it's a home run swing for both sides. And I think they could have a lot of success. So what are your thoughts on the move?
Dale, I think this is the perfect hiring for any candidate for any job. I think it's perfect for Sean Payton and the Broncos because you got a top 5 defense already settled there. You hired a great defensive coordinator. Now you get your offensive mind in Sean Payton, and you try to get Russell Wilson to look like he did a few years ago. And I still think it's a chance still. We saw in those final 2 games, multiple touchdown games, 300 yards plus each of the last 2 games without Nathaniel. That shows you a sign. That shows you, hey, he's still there. He's still capable of putting up these numbers. And I think with a genius head coach like Sean Payton and offensively, Dill, I think we could possibly see Russell Wilson not be prime again, but be much better than what we saw last season.
Yeah, I think it's a home run. I think offensively it's going to improve. Granted, they stay healthy. They had a problem with injuries this year, but I do think Russ has a better year. You can't get worse than what you performed last year. I think Sean Payton's going to design play calls to
he's going to call them too.
Yeah, to make Russ succeed. I think the defense is going to be fine. It would be great if they went out and got Vic Fangio. I don't think I think he's still around, free agent for a coach.
No, so. He's the DC. He's the DC there.
Oh, for them. So perfect. Yeah. He has a great DC there in Denver as well. So all signs, they are in a tough division, but moving forward, do you like their chances to compete in this division? I know they had a step backwards this year, but moving forward, what do you like their chances as?
Absolutely, Dill. You got to cancel out Kansas City. Kansas City's probably going to be the first or second seed for the next 10 years moving forward if Patrick Mahomes is healthy. That's a far gone.
We could cancel out Oakland or Las Vegas.
It all depends. It all depends if Brady shows up there next year.
Oh.
If so you can't just cancel them out yet. But
okay.
I do like them better than the Chargers and better than Oakland situations right now. That the better defense, clearly by far best defense in the division, and with Sean Payton and Russell Wilson in the same room together, still I think they could work some magic. And that's the thing. I just think Sean Payton is like Sean McVay with the Rams. They call him the boy genius. Well, Sean Payton is the OG boy genius. He's been doing this for years. You saw him work wonders with Drew Brees. And everybody talks smack about Drew Brees is too short. My man Russell Wilson is short too, and he be dicing him up. So maybe he just enjoys having short quarterbacks. Who knows? But I think he had great time with Drew Brees. I think you have a pretty good time with Russell Wilson.
I don't think Sean Payton would have taken the job if he didn't think Russ had anything left. He's going to go somewhere where he has a quarterback.
Think about it, though. I guarantee he could have got one of these jobs with one of these better quarterbacks, and he chose Denver.
He chose Denver for a reason. I agree. And that's not the only team doing stuff in the division. Like you said, Oakland's a mystery. Kansas City's always going to be in the conversation. They're going to the Super Bowl this year. And the Chargers, they just hired Kellen Moore. I don't understand why everyone has to put out they parted ways. That's just a nice way of saying he got fired.
And Mike McCarthy will be calling the plays now. So I don't know if that's an upgrade from Kellen Moore, because think about it. I think the last 2 seasons, or the last 4 seasons, Chiefs been number 1 in points per game. Dallas is second.
I agree. I think he's a great play caller, but when it gets time late in the game, he does make questionable decisions. Is that
Does he make questionable decisions, or Dak in the offense doesn't perform it?
That's fair. That's fair.
I think it's a little bit of both. I'm not going to solely put the blame in Kellen Moore. He has a top 2 offense since he took over the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, that's fair.
He's behind Patty Mahomes. There's no shame to being behind Andy Reid and Patty Mahomes.
How do you think Kellen Moore is going to do with Justin Herbert, Austin Eckler, and those weapons?
I think he'll be better than he was in Dallas.
Wow.
If you ask me,
opportunity to do well.
Austin, think about it. He got the job 4 years ago. Zeke wasn't prime Zeke 4 years ago. No. He wasn't the same dude we saw the first 2-3 seasons. So he didn't get a prime Zeke. The Dak Prescott, he got, I think Justin Herbert is a little better than Dak Prescott.
Oh, yeah. Now. No, not a little, but he is.
Exactly. The offensive line, granted, Dallas always had a top 5, top 10.
But it's rebuilding. Line. They got the guy from Northwestern.
Yeah, so they got some pieces, and I think Justin Herbert is slightly better. And you could there's no argument. The wide receiver core is better. You got Mike Williams, and Keenan Allen. In Dallas, you only got CeeDee Lamb or Bus.
That's it. Yeah,
I think he has a chance to even have a better career with the Chargers than Dallas.
I agree. I think they're better everywhere. Quarterback, running back. How's Pollard gonna be after that Achilles?
I don't know if it's Achilles. I think it's just like a broken fracture.
Fibula or something, ruptured fibula. But still, I mean, that's a brutal injury, and we don't even know if he's going to sign him. You already alluded to Ezekiel Elliott. I agree. I don't think this offense is. I think the Dallas offense is going to see a decline from leaving Kellen Moore. But we're getting off topic. I agree. I do think that it was a good move by Denver. Sean Payton. I think the matchup and the marriage should work. We are still waiting on the number and the years. But yeah, no, it will be finalized, him going to Denver. Like I also said, another head coaching minutes after this one was announced. San Francisco defensive coordinator DeMeco Ryan and the Houston Texans, they reached an agreement, 6-year deal. Texans got their coach for the future. What'd you make of this signing?
Yeah, besides Sean Payton, I think this is the best head coach candidate on the market. I think the Texans did a great job, hit the nail right on the coffin, and got arguably one of the best coaches out there. I think DeMeco Ryan could better this team moving forward. They have a 2nd overall pick, most likely going with a quarterback. So I love the fact that he gets his fresh start. He goes to pick his quarterback, who he wants in the future, not somebody else's problem. So, and we didn't know he has a great defensive mind. He played with the Texans, I think 5-6 years, was a Pro Bowler. So he's got some history there. And I think he's a player's coach, so I think the players going to be excited and want to get up and play for him still. I'll give him a few years to turn it around, but it wouldn't shock me if it's a Dougie P situation and the Texans are in it, because we already know that division it's not like it's up for grabs. It's up for grabs. If Trevor Lawrence or something happens, I think it depends how Tennessee bounce back. The Colts, they're a mess. The division is up for grabs, and within a year, maybe 2, DeMeco Ryan might have the Texans back in the playoffs.
I love the hire almost as much as I love the Sean Payton one, just because they're doing something they're not accustomed to doing. The last 2 jobs offers that the Houston Texans did were 2-3-year deals where they were able to get out of it early. They're committing to DeMeco Ryan 6 years. They're getting a fresh start with a quarterback. I think they might go CJ Stroud. And it came down. DeMeco Ryan had interest, or the Denver Broncos had interest in DeMeco Ryan. But I think it came down to what you said, familiarity with the organization. He played there. He was a Pro Bowler there. They were able to come to a better agreement. His family's more comfortable there. There's a lot of factors that go into it, but I think this defense has shown improvements. I know they only won 2-3 games this season, but they did show improvements. They got Stingley Jr., the corner out of LSU. They have some young pieces on that defense, and I agree. He's a player's coach. And how many times is a player coach on as a DC gotten a head coaching job at it from Shanahan? Robert Saleh now you got DeMeco Ryan. A part of these people's paycheck should be going to Kyle Shanahan, because he's just getting everyone a job. I just think, like you said, what the hell's the Colts doing? No one knows who's going to be their next coach.
Maybe still Jeff. Think about it. If you didn't hire, DeMeco Sean, you got to at least put in an offer for Sean.
And now you have Frank Wright. He's gone. He got the
Yeah,
Carolina
but
job.
I don't think that was like, oh,
No, I know,
let's
but
bring
he's off the
Frank Wright
market.
to the building, you know.
And who else is off the market? Oh, they said John Harbaugh's not in the market. So all the best candidates are basically off the table. You got to go with Jeff Saturday, right?
I like to see my man Brian Flores get another chance. Still, he did a decent job with Miami. He was told to lose. He won 7 games straight without Tua. You know, so I think he's well capable of being a head coach in this league. Though I just hope he gets another shot. And why not the coach? He's a defensive coach. That's a pretty good defense. Yeah. I think you're just a quarterback away from possibly having something.
And Tennessee, they just lost their lineman coach to the Jets. Their DC's head coaching for the DC job in San Francisco now. So a lot of changes are happening in this division, and I think it is up for grabs. I think they could take a big leap. Maybe not the first year, but the next 2-3 years. I like where this team is going, the Houston Texans. But Elvis, let's talk about championship weekend. Good games overall. How did you do record-wise, and what was – I don't want to talk too much about the refs, but the refs it was getting me very frustrated watching both of the games, much more the second game than the first game because it kind of was over in the first series. But what'd you make of championship weekend? How was your record, and what'd you make of the refs? 3 questions.
2-4 on the record, not a good weekend.
Okay.
Refs, in the NFC championship game, I feel like it was a few bad penalties on San Francisco's defense. You got to let them play a little bit, but hey, it's not the hero. The game was technically over anyway, but, they still had a fighting shot, but they couldn't really get nothing going offensively. And then on the AFC side, we've seen Patty Mahomes get an extra third down, even though they stopped them.
I don't understand. How did that happen?
Dude, this is beyond me. And there was just a lot of tech. And to be honest, to end the game, because I know we're going to get there, you got to let that go. This is to get to the Super Bowl. You can't just hand them 15 yards.
That's the right call.
No, it is the right call, and I agree with it. But you got to let that slide. Let this game go to overtime. You can't let a 15-yard penalty decide if you're going to the Super Bowl or not. Come on. So I think you got to take that out of the equation. Let them play. It's been a hell of a game so far.
Yeah.
Let them go to overtime. There's the new overtime rules. Think about it, though. They implicated these rules. Then not one game went into overtime. Not one. How ironic is that? So
there were holding calls every play. And they picked and choose when they threw the flag, which I didn't like. There were a lot of questionable calls, can I say. Maybe not so the first game because the game was over and in the San Francisco, they were taking their frustration out.
Yeah, but it was a lot of holding, a lot of,
Of course, they were holding
legal hands to the face.
It was just bad. And I don't like, so you bring up the last play, and I don't like a lot of people ganging up on this guy because he had a hell of a game. You watch that last drive or that last few plays before he took that bad penalty. He sacked Patty Mahomes once. He applied pressure, rolled out of the pocket, threw the ball away. The guy had an amazing game, and it's running your hardest on the sideline, trying. And you know what I fault him at? For not knowing where you are. He said he didn't know like where he was, and he just wanted to push him out of bounds, and he was already out of bounds when he pushed him. So it was the right call. Granted, it sucks that that's how a conference championship game went. But to be honest, the game didn't come down to that. They were the most penalized team. Joe Burrow didn't play that well. He threw some bad passes. Yeah, he hit a guy on 3rd and 16 to extend the play. He hit a guy on 4th down. He had some nice throws, but Patty Mahomes outplayed him on one ankle. I don't think their defense really got any pressure on Patrick Mahomes. I think the Chiefs defense actually played better. And I don't know. I just don't think it came down to that one play. So I don't like a lot of people harping or giving this guy. You could see he was visibly upset. And let's talk about the camera people real quick. Is it their favorite job to just, whenever a hot girl is in the stands, they like to show the camera to hot girls and people crying? Am I right?
Still,
it's always people crying and hot girls.
They want to. I don't know. Honestly, I got no answer for that.
And Tony Romo's awful on the call.
You got to relax.
No, besides multiple occasions, he's calling the week before he called Josh Allen the Michael Jordan. What are we doing? Greg Olsen is 10 times better. I had to say this because watching the game, we were watching it together. I was pacing because I was so distraught about the commentating, to the refs, just the way the game was going. I don't even have a stake in anything. It's just I'm just a guy who wants to watch good ball, and I know ball. So it's like when missed calls are happening and it causes the outcome of the game, I get kind of frustrated by the whole thing. But we digress. For me, 6-6 on the weekend. I tried to middle the shit out of the first game. My best bet for the weekend was Eagles first half on the money line. I got it at like -108. I put the most money on that. And then I put the 49ers +2.5 for the full game, +3 and money line. And when it was 7-7 and he broke off that first run, the Christian McCaffrey to tie it, I was this close to being like, I'm a live bet the 49ers. They're better ever. Thank God I did it. Thank God I didn't. But no, Christian McCaffrey gets anytime touchdown for me. Jalen Hurts gets in there too. He looks good. Jalen Hurts looks good. Granted, again, they didn't really have to do too much. But let's talk about that first game. What'd you make of it? Eagles cover and game goes under.
To be honest, it wasn't much really to be had after Brock Purdy went out the game. Josh Johnson, he wasn't ready for that game, Dill.
You know, he played like 15 teams.
Yeah. He came in, had 3 delayed games,
experience,
2-3 sacks,
and then a fumble. Oh my God.
So I'm witnessing this live, and I'm like, the Eagles are so lucky. You know, like,
yeah.
Now, mind you, I picked the Eagles to win, so I'm like, I honestly don't care, but I'm like, as a fan, this sucks. Like, this is just a terrible game I'm watching. They almost let Christian McCaffrey start playing quarterback. Brock Purdy had to go in there, finish it off, just hand the ball off.
Yeah, torn UCL, and
he's out for 6 months.
Yeah, hopefully they said he will be ready by training camp. But people on Twitter, they're living in their reality, I think, because everyone was like, "Oh, it's the conference championship." As much as I love WWE and Ric Flair, he goes, "I got into an airplane crash and I got up and drove home. You could go out there." He couldn't even throw the ball.
He couldn't really grip it.
All they did was run. And Trent Williams was like, fuck this. We can't do shit. And was like, I'm going to choke slam someone. Because that's the most action I'm going to get.
You're one dimension and they know you're going to run it. And that's one of the best defense in the league. That's the second best defense in the conference.
You knew it was bad when they started doing fake reverses with Debo. They were just trying to
and they were just negative yards.
That's negative.
Debo, I remember one run he ran. He fought like 3 tackles off, but still got like -2, and he just looked at like Kyle, and he was just like, "We can't do nothing. We can't
do anything."
I'm surprised they didn't let Christian McCaffrey throw the ball a few times.
Who's gonna run?
Which Debo? Line Debo up next to him, or Brock. No,
let's not say that, because Christian McCaffrey had one throw and he overthrew it to no one for 25 yards. You saw that play? So it was just bad. And I don't want to take anything away from the Eagles. They're the best team in the NFC for a reason, and they capitalized.
But one thing I could take away, their road to the Super Bowl was by far one of the easiest we've seen in recent history.
Yeah.
In recent history.
And now they're getting a banged up Patty Mahomes.
I want to say banged up, but he won't be at 100%. Let's just say that. I want to say banged up, though, because Patty Mahomes, he was tremendous. Let's go on. He was tremendous.
The Eagles have been the best team from week 1.
Yeah,
all year.
I agree with that, Bill. But at the end of the day, Patty Mahomes is still the best quarterback in football.
You know what it is? I think we love ball so much. We love football so much. We just want to see an even playing field. Yeah. Imagine they were on their 4th and 5th string quarterback. Imagine Jimmy G was in that game. Totally different, I think. Yeah. Maybe the Eagles still win, but I guarantee you they're putting up more than 7 points.
Yeah.
So
they're somewhere in the 20s.
Yeah. So, you know, unfortunate weekend. I thought it was a good championship Sunday. Besides the refs, what a game by MVS too. Travis Kelce, you know, they weren't able to really run the ball either. Both teams, Chiefs, Bengals, but you know, I thought MVS, he stepped up, and they were a bunch of practice squad. Juju, he goes down, he's hurt. You know, MVS, he all did it on Hilton got exposed. The guy saying Burrowhead all week got exposed, and Eli Apple, his mom deleted Twitter because they were coming after her. So I'm glad. I'm glad everyone's getting and respecting Chiefs Kingdom, because I was the first one, I think. Back in the previews in the summer, what was I saying? I put disrespect on Patty Mahomes' name, on Chiefs Kingdom, on them declining. I'm the biggest idiot. I'll be the first one to admit it.
And who saw it coming, Dill?
You said they're not taking a step back. They're going over the win total. They're gonna win the division. And what happened? Now they're playing in the Super Bowl. You called it too. Oh man, I just gotta listen to you right now. I just fade Dylan right now. But before we preview, I almost said UFC 57. The Super Bowl 57 in Arizona. Let me tell you guys about our sponsor, Viva Tequila. Viva Tequila Seltzer is the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. There's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and 4.5 ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebrations, as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor our tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives. Whether it's Huckleberry playing a round of golf or an elderberry after a Saturday morning workout, our flavors pair perfectly with that Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, Elvis, February 12th. By the way, Pro Bowl, my boy, Huntley, he got it.
Yo. I'm not gonna say this is wrong.
Why? Why is it wrong?
All right.
They're not capable of playing.
All right. Is he a top 10 quarterback in the AFC? Yes or no?
Okay. He might not even be top 15.
That's move forward.
No, it's because all the people that got voted in can't do it, and they're hurt.
Jacoby Brissett had a better season than him. Mac Jones had a better season.
I like Jacoby Brissett, but I think I might pick Tyler Huntley before Jacoby
Mac
Brissett.
Jones. King Tua. He was calling him King Tua.
Yeah, King Tua, yeah, but I'm out on Mac Jones, the guy who was crying over an ankle sprain.
All right, I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. All
right, yeah, let's go. But yeah, I'm probably not going to dabble into the Pro Bowl. I know you can bet on it, but I probably won't take any action. They're just playing for fun. It's nothing really serious. But yeah, Super Bowl 57, Arizona, February 12th, 6:30. Eagles short favorite, -1.5. Chiefs underdogs, +1.5. Over under 49.5. You got to keep an eye on the lines, how the side, total, line. We got to keep track of them moving towards kickoff. But Elvis, any lean which side? And do you like the matchup? Who do you like it better for, the Eagles or for the Chiefs?
Dill, to be honest, I kind of like the Eagles early look ahead. And honest, my only thing is with the Eagles, they didn't really play anybody. Chiefs, they played a pretty hot Jaguars team. And then they played, arguably the best quarterback in football and one of the hottest teams in the league. They won 10 straight, the Bengals. And then on the Eagles side, you play the Giants, who didn't show up at all. You blew them out in the first quarter. And then San Francisco, they played you hard defensively. It's not like you walked over them, but, they didn't really flex their muscles. It wasn't really like when Christian McCaffrey had that run, it was like, okay, it's a game. But Dylan, let's be real. Was it really a game? So
Never. That's
my thing. I do think, like you said earlier, Dylan, Eagles have been the best team since week 1. I do think we didn't see the Bengals front line get any pressure on Patty Mahomes. Didn't get sacked. Well, he got sacked like once, but didn't get a lot of pressure throughout the game, Dill. And I think with the Eagles front, I think they'll be able to. Riddick, you saw what Riddick was able to do. Riddick should get arrested because what the amount of damage he put in for the quarterbacks. He did the concussion. He did the
UCL
on Brock Purdy. And I promise you, if whoever was next, they would have got hurt too because Riddick was on a mission. That man.
I think he should get some consideration for Defensive Player of the Year. He's been a man the whole season.
Yeah, he should, but I don't think he is, still, just because by teams, still, that whole front is just
I know
great.
That's the reason. You're not going to see it because you have specimens up front.
It's like, we could, like some people go, oh, Kevin Durant should be MVP when he played for the Warriors. But you're not going to give it to Steph or KD when you got that whole juggernaut team. Even though they can average 35, 40 points a game, don't matter. You're on a damn juggernaut team. So nobody's going to give you the MVP. That's what I think. I think the whole front line is so great that they can't just be like, all right, Josh Reddick, you're the best. And he has been playing for the best, but, you got Fletcher Cox in there. You got OG Sue in there. He's causing havoc. The whole front line, Dill, it's just, I think they could get to Kansas City.
And they have the best secondary in the thing, so they can only rush 4.
Dill, that's another thing. That's the best secondary football. So I think the Chiefs off. I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to argue.
With you.
But still, I think they could cause havoc with that Chiefs offensive line and to Patty Mahomes, unlike we saw in the AFC Championship.
I agree with that. I think they'll definitely cause more havoc than the Bengals did, or anyone. Anyone. Yeah. Because this is a different breed. Like you said, I make my jokes, but the Eagles defense is no fucking joke. They have beasts everywhere. We didn't mention the linebacker position, but they got ball hawks there too. Right now, early look ahead. I already bet the Chiefs plus 2.5. I like them a little straight up as well. I don't think we see a 3, but I just think the Chiefs are honestly the more talented and more efficient team. They got the better quarterback. They got the better tight end. They got the better coach. I love backing Mahomes and the Chiefs.
That's it.
That's it. I know.
That's it.
That's why I stopped. Why you think I stopped?
That's it. Yeah, that's my thing, dude. That's it. And real quick, the offensive line, dude, we've seen Chris Jones in that defensive line, wreck Joe Burrow, especially early on. Eagles
Frank
offensive
Clark.
line. Dude, the Eagles offensive line is the best offensive line in football.
Yeah.
49ers ain't no slouch now.
Yeah, Lane Johnson and Kelsey, they were moving people.
Bro, 49ers was coming at them.
I know.
And they didn't really get to Jalen Hurts like that. I understand Jalen Hurts didn't have a pretty game, but 49ers was rushing way more and way better than what the Chiefs are going to throw out there.
I think Frank Clark, Chris Jones, I think they will get a little pressure. I think they'll do better than the 49ers, as crazy as that sounds.
I don't think so, because because I don't think so. All right, real quick. Chris Jones or Nick Bosa?
Nick Bosa.
That's all I gotta say.
I know, but it could, at any given time, someone could have a beast of a game.
No, and one thing, Chris Jones, he can line up anywhere. So he can line up in the middle, he can line left, he can line right. So I think he will get to him, Dill. But that line is just hefty. You could line up with Lane Johnson, Jason Kelsey. Dill, that line is just they stout. We saw it.
I know. But I don't think they could hold up for the whole game.
Not the whole game.
Eventually, with Spagnuolo bringing pressure, they're going to get to him.
Yeah, but they're not going to get to them as much as they got to Burrow. That's what I'm trying to say.
Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe they don't have to. Maybe the secondary goes out and plays a hell of a game. Who knows? I think it's going to come down to scheming. And the whole year, he's a comedian, Nick Sirianni, but game planning wise, he hasn't really had a bad game this whole year. His scripts have been perfect.
Yeah, and we already know their identity. They're going to go out there and
they're going to run the ball.
They're going to try to pound the ball, and when they can't, Jalen Hurts has enough arm and he got it pretty good over the years, Dill. And he's gonna be able to make some throws down the field, and you gotta be able to count for the run and his arms. Because Dill, when they start running that RPO, and he could just
hit dangerous.
He could just hit AJ or Devontae quick, or not just keep it or hand it off.
And we've seen Jalen Hurts put his shoulder down and take a big hit and come back right up. So he's maybe not 100. I don't think anyone's 100 at this point, but he's very close. He's as healthy.
I think he'll be healthier than Patty Mahomes will be in the
Oh,
Super Bowl.
100%. I agree.
I think this 2 weeks help his shoulder more than help Patty's ankle.
But I think it's going to be a hell of a game. There's a lot of, I like backing the Chiefs as a dog. Andy Reid against his former team, he's going to get up for it. There's just a lot of reasons why I like the Chiefs early right now. But I do think the Eagles are an amazing team. I think they could easily win the game. It wouldn't surprise me if they go out and win it. We've seen it all year, Elvis. What do they do when they're up? They have a 14. Their margin of victory is by 28 points per game this season. They're not just beating teams, they're clipping them. My thing is, if they go up at halftime by 14, maybe 17, and I know Patrick Mahomes is on the other side, but you know what they're going to do? Come out of the tunnel. They're going to run the ball. That's all they do when they're up, is just run the ball. And you can't stop it.
Because it could be Bart Scott, Gainwell, Jalen himself.
Gainwell had a game.
Still, that's the thing. They can run it with anybody.
Yeah.
And Miles Sanders. And
I love their wide receivers block. They go out and do their job. Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, even the tight ends go out and block.
And they trying to say Devontae Smith's too little. My man be out there blocking.
He's out there He's the lone blocker on pitches. But any like player props, because everyone they have the Gatorade thing. There's gonna be a lot of bets right now. I saw Travis Kelce over 76.5 receiving yards. He's not just a big time or big game player. He's an every game player. that man goes out and gets it every game, and we saw it last time. I know Patrick Mahomes was distributing the ball to everyone. I think he had over 10 or 11 receivers catch the ball last week, but Kelce, of course, is going to get 7-8 catches. So 7-8 catches, I think he could go over 76 yards. I think he has a big game. Any props or any players you're looking for to have a big game? Maybe running back for the Eagles?
I haven't really looked into it yet, but I'll go with the Travis Kelce did. I think he'll go over the 76 yards. You know why? Just because we saw how injured with injuries that wide receiver core is. Who's gonna be in? Who's gonna be out come Super Bowl, Dill? They were down to the 6th, 7th Street. That man Kemp came off the practice squad Saturday. He caught a ball. He caught a first down on the 3rd down, Dill, which was impressive. Give him credit. So if you got a couple 3rd strings in there, 4th strings, and you got Valdez as your number 1, I think you got to force feed Travis Kelce the ball.
Opening kickoff, we've talked about this since the start of the podcast 2 years ago. It will be a touchback at -150 because it's heavier. They get that ball, it's just one time, and then they put it to Canton. They kick the opening kickoff, and that's it. So it's hard as a rock. I'm going tails -104. I got to.
There's about to be 3 years in a row.
I have to hit it 1 year.
Heads, people. Heads. I win, bro, 2 years in a row, won $50. And I'm like, and everybody always goes tails. I'm like, it's going heads.
This is the year. 2023, this is the year.
And hopefully I can hit the Gatorade again. Our first year, I hit blue plus 800.
You did hit it our first year when Tampa won it. Jesus Christ. Elvis, we're going to dive into all these props a little later on in the week, but just touching the service, even MVP. I think if the Chiefs win the game, I think Travis Kelce could get the MVP. I know they always give it to the quarterbacks, but
I tell you, I'll sprinkle right now. Any Chiefs fan or anybody that believes the Chiefs could win the Super Bowl, hear me out for just 3 seconds. Chris Jones MVP. You heard it here first. You heard it here first.
Oh my God! I gotta see what it's at right now.
Plus 2,000.
Chris Jones plus 5,000.
I'm telling you right now, people. He gets 2 sacks, forced fumble, and a recovery.
He gets scoop and score.
I don't know. He
could now.
I promise you. I bet you a scoop and score is plus 2,000 in the game.
Oh my God!
Maybe higher.
Maybe higher. Yeah.
Maybe, come on. You always gotta take it up a notch. It's just like 2 sacks and a forced fumble. Hey, Patty Mahomes doesn't have clean day. Hey, why not?
Yeah, it could happen. But Elvis, thank you for that. I look forward to it. Gonna be interesting. You like the Arizona? You like it in the Dome? The Super Bowl this year?
Do I love it? No. But Hey, it is what it is. It's going to be, 60, 70 degrees in
Oh,
Arizona.
it's gonna be nice. Everyone loves going to Scottsdale, Arizona.
So, hey, at least it's going to be no rain. It's in the desert.
Yeah.
So, hey, at least it's going to be a beautiful night.
Tickets expensive. Cheapest one, $5,000 to get into the Super Bowl.
Shocker. And hey, guess what? That's in Arizona.
Yeah.
And it's 5 bands. So imagine if it's in Hard Rock or MetLife.
Ooh, can't wait.
During a recession.
Elvis, let's transition to the hardwood. Let's get to these picks. You say you have 4 plays in the NBA. We don't have that many games. We have about 5 games on tonight's slate. So let's get to the first one. Cleveland Cavaliers hosting the Miami Heat. Cavaliers home favorites -4.5, over under 210.5. Should be a good one. Kevin Love is probable. I just got an update. But how you looking at this one? Cleveland at home?
Yo, give me Cleveland -4.5 at home, dude. I've been saying it all year, dude. I just don't like this Miami team. I don't love what's going on. They haven't been playing for a lot of people had them as, possible contenders coming out the East, and I don't see it that way. And I think Cleveland is just a little better team right now. It wouldn't shock me to win by double digits either, though. So give me Cleveland -4.5 at home.
All right, let's get to this next game. New York Knicks at Madison Square Garden. LeBron is back. He will play tonight. He's probably going to go for 50, 60. This is his favorite arena to play in. I don't know if they win, but whatever LeBron's James point prop is, just hammer it over. I think it's last time I saw it was like 28.5 or something.
Yeah, 28.5. Yeah.
So that's going to be my play. But as of right now, kind of a pick 'em. Knicks -1.5 at home, -130 on the money line. Over under 232. I like the over as well. Both teams don't play any defense. How do you like this one?
Dale, give me LeBron James over 28.5 points. Lock of the day. Lock it in right now. Dale, sprinkle something LeBron plus 35 points at plus 240. Sprinkle something on LeBron plus 40 points at plus 600. Yeah, I have a feeling he might go for 50. A couple of days off. Refs owe him some calls off the rip. He's owed at least 5. I'm gonna say he goes to the free throw line at least 10 times tonight. He's gonna get a couple calls.
I'm going LeBron James, tailing that over with the points. I saw it earlier in the J. What's he need? 117 more points to pass Kareem's record. He's been averaging 29.3 points. I think he goes well over. Game on TNT at Madison Square Garden. Yeah, give me that. I also like his rebound prop at 7.5. It's at plus money. He's hit this in over 10 straight. He's hitting this in the season at a 67% clip with AD on the court. AD got a rest last night, so love the over too, but I'm going to be diving a lot into LeBron James props tonight. Expect him to have a big game. And if you guys want to get in on the action, download Prize Picks today. All first-time users that deposit and use promo code DREAMWAGER will receive 100% instant deposit match up to $100. You deposit 100, Prize Picks will give you 100. Same thing with $50. You deposit 50, Prize Picks will give you 50. You pick 2 to 5 players like LeBron James. And what's another one that you like, Elvis, to get some in on the action?
Look at Donovan Mitchell, man.
Ooh, Cleveland.
He's a scoring machine. If anything, Darius Garland assists.
Mm-hmm.
Darius Garland assists. Where is it at? Let me just make sure. Garland 7.5 assists. It's a little rich at -120, but he could put up 8, 9, 12.
And the good thing is, Elvis, you're not playing against anyone else. It's just you and the Prize Picks projection. You can win up to 10 times your money. So you pick 2 to 5 players: Garland, LeBron, more than their assists, more than their points or their rebounds. You could do it any sport. You could combine NFL, you could combine NBA, NHL together. So it's easy. Entries can be made within 60 seconds or less. It's safe and offers fast withdrawals. You get your money instantly, instant deposit match up to 100%. So when you download Prize Picks today, play daily fantasy with us. Make sure you use promo DREAMWAGER. Elvis, let's get right back into it. Milwaukee Bucks, home favorites, -11, over under 244.5. That's a lot of points. I feel like whenever the total's at 240, you got to just bet an under, right?
I don't know, Joe. You never know. Charlotte's not going to play no defense. We know that. And the Bucks, they're capable of putting up about 130 on you, Dill. So it wouldn't shock me they up that many points. It's will Charlotte score 120 plus. That's the thing. It wouldn't shock me Bucks score 125, 130. It's just will Charlotte Hornets get up there, and that's the thing I don't know, Dill. Spread is minus 11 for a reason, so it got to be a lot of points scored there. Maybe the Bucks take their foot off the gas late in the fourth. But gotta lean the under. The under. I'm not gonna touch it, but you gotta lean the under.
Yeah, Giannis is playing. They're playing good ball. They've won 4 in a row, and like you said, they're putting up points. They put 135 against New Orleans. New Orleans looks terrible without Zion, by the way. They dropped all the way to the 8th seed. They put up 141 against the Pacers, 108 against Denver, 150 against Detroit. Milwaukee's putting up points. So, yeah, maybe not take the under if they're putting up points like that. It's just, is Charlotte going to score? And that's going to be the question. But let's get 2 games left. Chicago Bulls hosting the Clippers. Clippers minus 2.5 on the road. Over under is sitting at 226. Marquise Morris is out, and that's all that the injury report for the Clippers. But Clippers, they won 4 of their last 5. Chicago, good win on the road against Orlando. But other than that, 2-3 in their last 5. How do you see this one going?
Still, give me the dog. Give me Chicago Bulls at home. Call them at +3. I still like them at +2.5. I got to sprinkle something on the money line as well. Like I said, the Bulls always play up to the competition, always play down to the competition. So I think it's going to be a good game. I think they can edge it out against the Clippers tonight, though.
All right, and last game on the board, Denver Nuggets hosting the New Orleans Pelicans. Nuggets laying the 6.5 at home, over under 231. Like I said, New Orleans Pelicans are just lost right now without Zion. Lost 5 in a row. They're 3-7 in their last 10. Meanwhile, Denver Nuggets, they're still on top of the West, 34-16. Jamal Murray is questionable. You got to lay the 6.5, right, with them, Denver?
Yeah, Dale. I'll give me Denver minus 6.5. And even if you want to play it safe, right, do the LeBron over prop with the Denver money line, and then you probably get odds around minus 115, minus 120 if you don't want to lay the 6.5 people, because LeBron is going over and Denver's winning that game. Yeah. Like Dylan said, the Pelicans just been dropping like flies. Still, they're not the same without Brandon Ingram and without Zion.
Yeah, not doing well right now. Elvis, how you been in NBA? I know you barely missed on that Russell Westbrook prop, but overall, past weekend, how have you been?
NBA deal past week. So we are let me see my last week. We're down 1 unit, Dill. 11-11. So 500. Right. It is what it is, but last week in the NBA 11-11. So
perfect time to get above water today. Sitting right at sea level.
That's what happens when I bet Russell Westbrook. I should have just took the Nets minus the points, and look, what happens.
Yeah. For college plays for me tonight, first game 7:00. I'm taking Ball State on the road against Bowling Green, minus 1.5. You could take them on the money line. 9:00. Give me Northwestern and Iowa under 149.5. That's at 9:00. Give me Indiana +3 on the road against the Terps, and Nevada +3 at home. Give me the home puppy against San Diego State. That should be a good game at 11:00. But full transparency, I got to be transparent because that's what we are. In college, oh my, Elvis, it's been bad.
I know you had that one bad day when I took Murray State.
Oh my God. So let me see. Well, my phone's freezing.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. So the last Saturday when I had like 13 plays, I went 1-12. Yeah. That's actually impressive.
That's impressive. That's impressive, by the way. Because if for any people out there, but I'm gonna fade Dylan, you had yourself a fucking day.
Yeah.
So hey, it happens. Happens to the best of them, Dill. And guess what? Promise you, next week will be better.
A wise man or a wise better once told me when I was in AC, went to the sports book. I said, I ripped up the ticket. They lost. I think it was on the Mets. He looked at me. Fuck you. He looked at me and he said, your next bet is your best bet. And I said, damn fucking right. And I went and placed another bet. I was like, this is my guy. Last week, 13-20, down 8 units.
Hey, besides that day, you kind of went off.
Yeah.
Besides that day,
I was up
positive.
7 units before, and then you know what it is? It's the volume. And what did I say? I got to cut down. And then what do? Have 13 plays. Jesus fucking Christ.
But, out of 120, that's not bad.
No, not bad.
Less than 10%.
Yes. Elvis, that was a great episode. Any final words before we get up out of here, kid?
No, Dill. Great episode. Let's just have a better day today than we had yesterday, because Westbrook fucked me.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Let's break these books off. Let's win all these bets. And that's going to do it for this Tuesday edition of the Dream Wager. On behalf of our sponsors, Viva Tequila, Prize Picks, Elvis, myself, we'll see you guys in a few days. Hey, we might break down the Pro Bowl. Who knows? We'll talk about everything. We'll talk about the lines for the Super Bowl. We got plays on the hardwood. But please follow along our social media, Twitter and Instagram at The Dream Wager. You can find all of our episodes wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher. We are live on YouTube now as well, so go check out that page. Subscribe as well. Subscribe, rate, review, all that good stuff really helps the show grow and our numbers. So be a friend, tell a friend. Everyone have a great few days. Good luck on your wagers, and we'll see you down the road. Peace.